Welcome to group chat. We're talking about dramas, workout posting. It's a big topic. What's your question,
spreading the
Anand?
streets of Los Angeles.
It is. And I want to be honest with you. It sounds a little cheesy here that for me to admit this, but like, you know, I've been working out pretty heavily for the last couple years, but I've never really posted. Like I posted one good boxing montage. I don't really post weightlifting. I don't know. It feels weird to me.
Are you proud of your weightlifting abilities?
So the reason I brought it up, I was working out with my guy Garrison this morning. Normally when we work out, we talk NBA for an hour straight.
Yeah.
And in the middle of our NBA chat, he goes, "What's up with drama working out, huh? He's really lifting a lot of weight for a small dude."
Yeah, not small anymore, Garrison.
How much weight were you lifting?
Well, it depends on which post you were talking about, but I did a 300 pound deadlift, and I did a 200 pound what's called a clean and jerk. I know you're going to have a field day with that name.
So the deadlift.
Let me tell you the two things that don't make sense: clean and jerk.
Yeah, I can jerk a lot of weight. Let me tell you.
So clean and jerk, you have to bring the barbell up to the shoulders. Is that right?
The clean is up to the shoulders. The jerk is above the head.
Oh yeah, I've seen that in the Olympics.
I
was like, well, these guys look like.
So you did
the
200
Olympics
pounds.
and my story. So I did 200 pounds on the. Or no. Sorry. I'm lying. I did.
Can't be lying for a small dude.
No, I'm lying for a small dude, Garrison. I did. Because it's all in fucking kilos. 187 pounds on the clean and jerk, 300 pounds on the back squat. Here's the interesting thing. What I was saying is I've been working out for a while. Don't post it because, I don't know why. It just feels kind of weird to me to post workout clips. But I've been trying to post a little bit more because, I don't want to be too like fucking recluse. And so I had these new, personal records. And I posted them. And the crazy thing is, I'm not very active on my Instagram. So my stories now get like, no matter what I post, puppy, girlfriend, trip to Mexico, I get about 7,500 views on a story. On my workout videos, I get 35,000.
Wow.
And I guess there's just, it's not that impressive. If you're a real weightlifter, the weight that I'm doing is not that impressive. If you're a regular guy, it is. But like, it's not that. It's just, I think that like there's such a weightlifting fitness, interest.
Moment. Yeah.
And when you're posting numbers, like it's the same if you guys started running and said, "Oh, I beat my mile, I did 7:01." Like there'd be a community of runners that are like, "Oh, let me keep tracks on that." But I don't know. So I guess I'm not only am I a golf influencer, I'm breaking into fitness.
Yeah, I mean, on my social, one of the more viral clips yesterday was Andrew Huberman shirtless in his six pack.
Yeah, that's going wildly viral.
Why is that viral?
Because he's like the pillar of health. He does podcasts about health and science.
You expect him to have a six pack?
No, he's like ripped. He looks like Joe Rogan but bigger. Like, and he always wears a button ups. He's a teacher at Stanford. He always wears button ups. He made it a point to never show his tattoos. And now all of a sudden he's like ripped, tatted up.
Like
and people
Navy
are like, what
SEAL.
the fuck? Yeah, he looks like a Navy SEAL.
And I'm assuming
the
he's in his
comments
50s?
are hilarious because it's all dudes being like, "I'm not gay, but take your pants off. I'm not gay, but I knew you fucking," like it's so funny.
And the tech Twitter was like, "Man, all I had to do was start listening to podcasts and I could look like this."
Yeah. It's pretty wild. I mean, there's definitely a trend happening. And I think that it actually got a little bit of a bad rap from people like Andrew Tate. But there's a trend of like, I don't know, I guess just to get to the point, like kind of good male influences, like strong, healthy professor. This guy, exercising, I think is just really interesting. I think that sort of like went away for a while. Yeah. And now there's like this trend of like, people that are probably on testosterone replacement therapy, 50 years old, ripped ex-Navy SEAL guys that are really popular.
Yeah, I think it's also interesting, like, to your point about the weightlifting, that if you think about like just the context of social media or even content people are putting out, things promoting a healthy lifestyle are very, very popular with young men.
Yeah.
Right? I think it's probably always resonated with young women because I think generally women at an earlier age start thinking about health.
Yeah.
But I think men usually have not. Men usually like wait till you're 50, get diagnosed with diabetes, and then you have two paths. You're just become complete pig, or you like make changes in your life. But like the amount of people that I see posting how many days sober they are,
75 hard.
75 hard.
Yeah, that's huge.
I woke up at 2:30 in the morning today to go work out. Like whatever it is, it's like there is this moment where like there's a sense of pride about being healthy. And like I'm just thinking about my 20s. No one worked out. No one gave a shit about working out.
It was like a
just
jockey.
Yeah.
It was like a jockey thing. You know, it's like a.
Yeah, I mean, think about it like this. I used to like laugh when I'd go around town and I'd see people with big jugs of water. I was like, oh, what a meathead.
Yeah, now it's everybody.
Everyone's a jughead.
The jug of water is the biggest like giveaway. You know, like, are you 75 hard? What are you on, buddy? You know, like I remember at our office, which this is when it was way less popular, but at Young and Reckless, like 6 years ago, you know, I feel like every month a new guy would have a jug of water trying to get on his health kick. You know, but the jug's I don't do the jug. The jug's a giveaway. But yeah, it's just interesting. It's something that I notice. Like you notice when trends are happening, and there's sort of this David Goggins,
I wonder if it's going to translate 10 to 15 years later for this group of people in their 20s that at least per social media, everyone is on one of these challenges.
Yeah.
Are they going to be healthier than the current 40-year-olds?
Yeah, of course. We know that if you start these habits at an earlier age, you will be a much healthier person. Or there will be a cohort of people that are going to drink a 6-pack, have a bag of Doritos, and sit on the couch.
I'm just curious if it's a trend because, like, you know, in your 20s, you're always hanging around lots of people. Then you get married, you have kids. You're like, oh, fuck it. I'll eat that bag of Doritos.
Yeah.
And just give up.
I think it really matters, like, what you're surrounded by. Like, when I go drop off my kids at school, every dad is in good shape. I mean, insane shape.
It's a private school, to be fair.
But but they're all still like, but that's what my surrounding is, right? Like those dads, I see them dropping off and I'm like, fuck, these guys are all in shape. Everybody's in shape. There's not one like dude that's not in shape. Hey, if you want to
come, you want to come jerk together, just let me know.
I would love to jerk with you, Drama.
Yeah. I can teach you to jerk properly because you might be jerking a little wonky right now.
I don't think I know how to jerk.
Yeah, I think the question is, does it stay? Look, I think that there's a section of people, like kind of like you said, like it's about your surroundings. I think there's a group of people that, as weird as the internet is and social media is, like their new friends are like Joe Rogan and Huberman and these people that they're listening to for hours a day.
Who are talking about health.
Yeah. And like Andrew Huberman's, I checked his podcast on YouTube alone, get like 1.5 million views. And they're 2-hour episodes breaking down like pretty in depth these different health things or how to deal with stress or neurological things. Like it's pretty insane the amount of people that are really like tuning in.
I mean, that's exciting for, I think, just health of people going forward, that at least there are some people that are paying attention to this, because we obviously have a serious healthcare issue in this country. All the statistics are still saying obesity is at all-time level, all these things. I think the key piece to it is the first step is, I think there's people now consuming content to optimize their health and their life. I think a very small percentage of people actually execute on that consumption of content, like where they actually are like perfect. I think the rest will just be on Ozempic.
Yeah, so everyone wins.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
I think you listen to Huberman
and take Ozempic.
And you take Ozempic. That's like
the American.
combo. Yeah.
diet.
Yes.
Huberman and
you listen
Ozempic.
to Rogan, you listen to all this health optimization, like, what are you talking about? I could poke a needle in my butt. And
But then you post the newest, you repost the newest Huberman episode and you'd be like, health is wealth. And then you fucking shoot up your Ozempic. No one knows any difference. Put on your fucking Lululemons, your Hokas.
Yeah.
You know what I noticed is like, this might be kind of fucked up, but like, the intention for this like fit, active wear trend was like people going to the gym and then you want to run to the store afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
But especially if you travel, which Dee, you do a lot. I'm sure you noticed this, or you will now that I put it into your brain. It has been adopted by like people who clearly don't work out because it's just so comfortable. And so like, if you go to an airport, you see these like slobs in like Lululemons and Hokas. And you're like, damn, you just found a way to make it like as comfortable as possible.
Yeah. I mean,
these shoes are made for running marathons and you're like, using them to go to.
Hoka is the best example of that because like, love the shoe from a performance standpoint, but don't love the shoe as far as my everyday shoe I'd wear out and, like I do wear them out to work sometimes and stuff like that. Yeah. But like, it's not like my go-to shoe if I had to go out on an airport. Yeah. And to your point, you go to the airport, you see so many people wearing Hoka and these like performance shoes in general.
Yes.
And they're clearly not performers.
Yes.
What's even less flattering is you'll see, at least from a men's standpoint, someone 50, 60 pounds overweight with a skin tight dry fit.
Yeah.
That's not uncommon.
Yeah. Yeah. Skin tits.
Skin tits. Yeah, that's what we call them.
Skin tits too.
What's up, skin tits? Yeah, it's just funny how like the American, like the intention was for running marathons and for being active, but still looking good. And then it's literally just been adopted by American pigs, just being as comfy as possible.
The good news is like from a Lulu standpoint or Alo Yoga, you don't really need to make like 4X. That shit stretches. So you could squeeze in an XL.
Well, Chip got in trouble for that. The Lululemon founder got canceled for that.
Why?
Because people were complaining that Lululemon was like sheer and you could see their underwear and stuff. And he's like, it's because fat people are wearing it and stretching. It's so funny.
That's good.
Yeah, if you just took the outfits of everyone at an American airport, you would think everyone were marathon runners.
Yeah, if you're an alien, you'd be like, wow, this whole country just runs all day.
Like, wow, elite athletes. So Vlad, the founder of Robinhood, CEO, became really famous for all the wrong reasons during the pandemic. We talked about him a lot on here. And the big thing was that when Robinhood halted trading during the whole GameStop sort of crisis, Vlad kept trying to do these PR campaigns and talking about, we didn't stop trading. No one was influencing us, blah, blah, blah. And he just, I don't know, he's just unlikable, I guess, in front of a camera. And he was just getting ripped to shreds. And I don't know, I will say it seemed like, yes, that's all good and fine. But Robinhood is just one of those products that's just so good that it will just increase no matter what.
Yep.
And that's not necessarily true.
So the impressive part is that their revenue did grow.
Okay.
29% to $467 million for the quarter. They were expecting $480 million, but the revenue was hurt by a 13% decline in third quarter transaction revenue tied to stock trading. And crypto trading dropped 55% year over year. Option trading was unchanged.
That's scary.
What?
That option trading was unchanged.
Yeah.
That should go to zero. For a Robinhood user should not be trading options.
Why? It's like FanDuel.
If you treat it like FanDuel, I agree.
I think there's no difference between option trading and FanDuel.
I think there's no difference between Robinhood and FanDuel. I think if the user understood that.
Why? I think people wake up Sunday morning, sign up for FanDuel, and they see the $2 million prize and like, I'm going to do 50 fucking entries and I'm winning that $2 million.
Grab their Doritos,
what is the
strap
difference?
on their hokas.
No, there's no difference. I just think Robinhood pretended like this was a wealth creation app, whereas it's really a gambling app.
Yes, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think the sell was democratizing, finance or whatever. And the actual
original
use
intention,
case,
the original intention was
it's
right.
just like Hoka and Lululemon.
Yeah.
These are for fit people.
Hoka was started by French runners. Do you think 10 years ago, when they sold their company Deckers, they were like, they wanted to make a shoe for marathon runners, not big Americans.
It's the same as Robinhood. Literally, Robinhood and Hoka, same story.
Yeah, it is.
What's for me, when I look at stocks, I don't really use Robinhood much anymore. It was a pandemic thing for me to fuck around with options. It was my FanDuel. There were no sports.
Yeah.
The product's so good. That's where I go to look at stocks.
Yeah, I love it.
You see volume immediately.
Yeah,
you see
notifications of earnings. And the other thing was interesting is the reason why I know option trading is huge. I bought a few options just for fun, like FanDuel gambling for the Crocs earnings. And I very little money, like $200 or something. All the trades I was seeing on the actual option were that dollar amount. They were not big blocks of options. It was other idiots buying one contract, two contract, selling one. There's just millions of people in aggregate that are buying one contract, two contract, and just trading $50, $100. It's just FanDuel. Yeah. Robinhood is gambling.
There's really a pattern here of like delayed gratification. We have a story here that we were going to skip over, but I'll just go quick. Is Warren Buffett's killing it. There's just record amounts of cash, whatever. His strategy is sit on stocks for a long time, be really patient, whatever. And then you see what the average person does, which is gamble. I can maybe be rich tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you really see the patterns of the different.
And it's just proven time and time again, there is no other strategy to create wealth than patience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only strategy. But
the problem is those stories aren't in the news. You hear about the guy who got rich quick. You hear about that.
Well, I think they are in the news. That's not fair because the millionaire next door story is very popular in American culture. The problem is like, you're like, okay, great. They didn't eat out for 40 years and saved a bunch of money.
Okay, they're in the news. They're just, nobody's reading them. They're just boring.
Even crypto, you pretty much, unless you just got lucky on one of these shit coins and got out, you had to have at least a 5-year horizon to really make any money. Yeah. If you look back the last 5 years.
Yeah. Because of the ebbs and flows.
And that crypto is considered overnight, millionaires, but to actually be that, you probably had to be 8-9 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, great. So Robinhood's a gambling app. Everyone gets a chance to gamble on some options, and that's what it is. I just don't. I think the problem with democratizing finance is you have to first educate, or how do you change the behavior? Up until then, the app is just going to be a gambling app.
Yeah.
Because I was actually thinking with just sports gambling, it's become so prevalent because it's so easy. And now bookies have no risk of getting in trouble.
Yeah.
Everyone at the few restaurants that I go to regularly, the waiters and the busboys all have books. And they're gambling 4-figure bets.
They're
the waiters and the busboys?
Yes.
They are bookies.
They're not bookies. They have a book and they're betting, $1,500 on a game, $1,000 on a game. That's their get rich quick scheme. And I was thinking as gambling gets more legal, is there going to be like consumer protection against this?
No. There's not consumer protection against opioids.
No, just because option trading and stocks, it's the facade that you can get rich and it's legal and these are, gambling will be legal, but you're investing in Fortune 500 companies. So that's why Robinhood can go unhinged and options trading, everyone's losing their money.
Yeah.
I think gambling's always had that negative tint.
Yeah.
It's the reason why there's only casinos in like Nevada and New Jersey and a handful of other states, because they wanted to create more friction. But once FanDuel's in 50 states, not the however many they're in now, it's going to be a free-for-all of people just losing money nonstop.
I don't think we care. I think as long as the gambling companies have the ear of Washington or the wallets, I just think we've seen a pattern, right? Like you can become an alcoholic, you can become a opioid addict, you can become we haven't really shown many places where we truly care. You can go order supersize everything every day from McDonald's. Like where do we really, other than making people wear seatbelts, I don't know where we really care if there's money to be made.
Yeah, that's fair. It was just shocking when I heard the numbers of these guys gambling.
Yeah, I think you're totally right. And I think that it's just another, almost like temptation, for like a person who doesn't know the risk. But, we heard that whatever that was, Project Veritas video or whatever about the cost of a senator and the cost of they'll be voting away any regulation there.
Yeah. All right.
That was depressing. I just depressed myself. Okay. How about this? We have some news stories from, that sound like they're from 1995, but they're from right now. There's two of them back to back. This one is really crazy. So let's share them. Gambino family mafia crackdown. 16 arrests have been made by the New York feds and the Italian authorities, it looks like, on the Gambino fucking family. I thought, don't these guys
as well as arrest in Italy of 6 other alleged organized crime associates, and the racketeering conspiracy claim is around violent extortions, assaults, arson, and union-related crimes.
I don't understand what a union-related crime means.
And the head of the Gambino, the captain of the Gambino family is Joseph Lani, a.k.a. Joe Brooklyn. He was arrested.
Wow.
Diego Danny Tantillo, also arrested. The names are great. Here's a couple shocking things. I know organized crime still exists in America. And funny enough, on Netflix right now, the number one show is about John Gotti.
I know, I just started it. I thought we were long past it.
Well, I think when you think about it, is like, we thought the feds went after all these crime families so hard 30 years ago.
What's his name got him? Giuliani.
Like they made such a big deal. So they clearly did not get them at all. They're just operating smarter now.
Yeah. And they're going into industries that aren't really
violent,
scrutinized.
Yeah.
Demolition industries and carting. I don't even know what carting is.
Yeah.
Do you guys know what carting is?
Carts.
Instacart.
Instacart.
Shopping carts.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have no idea. But yeah, I mean, I think they've always been in demolition and waste management. That was
construction.
Those are great ways to launder money. But it was just a shocking headline that they're still operating at a scale where the New York feds care that much. It must be huge. Otherwise they wouldn't, unless my guess is it's pretty big if they're going after them.
Yep.
This particular group of lawyers aren't going after small criminals. And then I was always under the impression that we cracked down on the mafia, but clearly
I thought they had like shows on E and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I thought this was like a relic.
Yeah.
So the mafia must exist in every major city.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what
they're pissed about all this unorganized crime? Like that has to be.
Yeah, like we're out here. We're very organized.
Yeah,
we're neat.
Get it together.
Yeah.
I wonder, so in LA, what would you think the industry that's mafia related?
I think organized crime is crime that is committed in an organized manner.
And I mean, you could make the argument that The smash and grab feels that's organized crime.
Yes, that's correct.
There's a crime boss that's telling all these kids to go do this.
Yeah. I think drug dealing is still organized crime.
For sure.
But don't you think like the Gambinos or whoever's, I didn't hear any of their last names actually being Gambino anymore, but like, they have to look at that. Like, what do you like? This is so like, you don't get that much attention. You shouldn't be on the fucking 6:00 news every night, smash and grabbing YSL. Like we're over here trying to make slow money like Warren Buffett in the fucking waste management business. And you kids or your crypto kids are out here smash and grabbing Yves Saint Laurent.
Yeah, and running up on people's houses. Jesus Christ.
Ugh.
I think the other piece, so I think drugs is huge. Like, you don't think organized crime has something to do with fentanyl coming?
No, of course. That definitely is. But when you think about Gambino, I think about like the construction site down the street.
I think they're still involved in that shit. I don't think I think they have they're still dipping their toes in that world.
Yeah, like the trash companies, definitely.
Yeah. I think unions are still I could see unions still tied up. And I'm not saying that it's in any way even violent. I just think that like they have found a way to extract money. Right? Like I don't think they're necessarily beating up someone on the construction site, but they're just like, oh, you got to pay the piper. Pay me.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating.
They're organized.
Yeah, they're very organized. Okay, I just started watching the Gotti show. It's good.
Yeah.
I have a related but kind of unrelated story. I was told and educated about this, that in third world countries, the easiest way to launder money is the flour business. Because
FLOUR?
FLOUR, like bread.
Yeah.
You're making bread. Because you can make up how many thrift shops you're selling the bread to, because no one's tracking it. It's not like in the US, you're like, okay, show me the Ralph's PO. If you get audited.
Is that any type of agriculture or food product, bro?
That's sold in a third world country because there's no record of any of these things. So a lot of the crime families use these industries to launder their money.
I mean, maybe that's Italians with olive oil was a big money laundering back in the day.
Possibly. But Italy's just small. Like in a third world country that is 200 million people.
Yeah.
You can launder left, right, and center.
Next time I have a piece of bread in Indonesia, I'll think about that.
Just know that organized crime paid for that.
I thought that was a good nugget.
That's a good nugget. Here's another good nugget. Once again, seems like it's from the past, but it's not. High-end brothels mainly around Virginia, Boston, those areas, apparently have serviced. The word serviced is funny. Have clean and jerked some pretty high status individuals, including elected officials, tech execs, pharma execs, military brass. What do we got here? We got a little expose.
Yeah. So the brothels began operating around July 2020. It's a result of the pandemic. Everyone was just
sex was
really
tough.
looking to fuck.
Yeah.
And they found an opportunity. So Cambridge and Watertown, Massachusetts, as well as Fairfax and Tysons, Virginia. So Fairfax and Tyson is close to DC. And the Massachusetts are close to a lot of big pharmaceutical and tech companies. And the DC is obviously government. We know those guys are all doing that. And what's interesting is that like hundreds of customers have yet to be identified, which curious to see.
What happened? Did they like bust the brothel and now they're asking them to expose the people, or how did
so 3 people were charged, 2 in Massachusetts and 1 in Los Angeles area, all of Asian descent, and the women were all primarily Asian. And the real, I think the real red flag were some of these deposits that were coming into their bank accounts. One of the young ladies deposited $795,000 of cash into her personal Bank of America.
Big red flag.
Yeah.
Fuck? What was she doing?
and another utilized $109,000 in cash to make payments against her Bank of America credit card account.
Should have bought flour.
I mean, if this was like, you would have been better off just paying someone to launder your money for a fee.
What's funny about this story is Boston, clearly has this rampant industry, but Robert Kraft went to Florida and he got busted in that little shopping mall. Yeah. And he went from the shopping mall straight to the airport to go back to Boston. So he needed a quickie that badly.
He couldn't wait. Yeah.
He couldn't wait.
He couldn't wait. He's like, I'll hit the brothel tomorrow, but I got to get this out of me right before this flight.
Because he's the king of Boston, owns the Patriots.
Yeah.
I love that he just stopped. Wasn't it like daytime or something? Like he just stopped in for a casual jerk.
Clean and jerk.
Just a clean and jerk real quick.
You could launder your brothel through your weightlifting techniques.
Yeah, that could be my code word, so nobody knows what I'm talking about. Yeah. A lot of clean and jerks today. Yeah, it just blows my mind how loose people are with. I would say
like you're obviously
sex.
Committing a crime to begin with. You're depositing $800,000 in cash.
Yeah, that's just lack
just
of
to me
education.
Like the people, the stupidity that powerful people will exercise in the pursuit of just, getting one off. Like, what do you do? Like, you're going to brothels and you're going to massage parlors. Like there's got to be better options for some of these people. Tech execs, you're going to a brothel in Virginia.
They can't help themselves. They probably like to go to these discreet places so they don't get seen. Like if you're at the Four Seasons in Boston and you walk in with, someone that looks like is in this profession, it's a little embarrassing.
Yeah. I'm going to see if they release the list. The names is all that matter.
Release the list.
There's no way that
Ghislaine's list, and I want this list.
Yeah, if that list has not been released, this list is not getting released.
These guys might not be powerful enough. I have a feeling Ghislaine's was
too powerful.
Yeah.
When do you think Epstein and everything, the details just becomes the new JFK conspiracy theory? Like we'll never find out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So 30 100%. Years from now, like who was there? Who did what?
Who was there? Everyone was there.
Everyone was there.
Yeah, that's
what do you mean? Look, this guy's a picture with everyone. He's a cobra snake.
Yeah, they'll be. Is he still doing that?
I'm just saying, like, if you grew up in LA from 10 years ago and we're out, Cobra Snake took your picture. And so
I feel like in 20 years, we'll get an incredible Netflix documentary and a book, and none of it will be proven, but it'll be really good theories. Those people will be dead. But I think the people are so powerful, you can't let it out. It's Bill Gates.
That reporter is still around. Remember, it's
Miami.
A Florida reporter that was kind of unknown, just kept digging and digging and digging.
Yeah, gotta be, because we would know if they got offed. That's too juicy.
I think the real kind of challenge is that if you look from a context of, we've now learned over the last 50 years, the CIA has had influence over media. Reporters, that's like a known fact now. And so when you think about the reporter that broke the story, could that have been the way maybe Epstein had gotten too out of control with what he was doing, and the powers that be said, fuck it, we have this guy under.
Leave some files at this reporter's doorstep.
Like, is the reporter that good, or did he just get handed the story of the century?
Yeah. Yeah, you never know.
I feel
like what we've learned over time is that it usually goes the way they want it to go. So what seems like them being exposed, or seems like whatever, was the plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the reporter's still around. Yeah. Her name's Julie Brown. She wrote a book called Perversion of Justice based on her reporting on the Epstein case.
Yeah. Okay.
There's supposed to be a limited series coming out on HBO.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, this is.
I wonder who produced that.
Produced by
someone.
her, along with Kevin Messick and Adam McKay. Adam McKay's big, right?
Yeah. AKA the CIA.
I feel like all of these documentaries, though, it goes just high enough to give you a little appetizer, but it doesn't actually disclose anything new.
No. That's
like it's
job.
enough to be like, yeah, Epstein, new documentary, but like there's nothing.
There's nothing in there.
I thought the opioid stuff that we've seen on Netflix and have been really good. There were things I didn't know how in depth of the corruption was.
Well, I agree completely.
That there's an end to the story. They got them. It was proven.
Well, and it's isolated. It's one group.
Yeah.
This is fucking Prince Andrew, Bill Gates. Probably way beyond that. That's what we know. I feel like no matter how, like at every corporation, like any of these content creators, you go high enough up the flagpole and they're like, nope, you've done enough. Documentary looks great. End it there.
Stop it right there.
Don't ask any more
I don't
questions.
need my boss in it.
But man, for content, creators, you'll have Epstein content for 30 years.
I would love to see the list of the high profile people that were invited to the island that said, whoa, this is a little too much for me.
I would say 9 out of 10 people said yes.
Oh, like that went there and were freaked out?
No, that you heard the stories from Bill Gates or Clinton.
Yeah. Oh, it's a good time there, guys.
And they're like, it's like, how the Wolf of Wall Street guy met J-Lo and was like, that guy's a criminal.
Yeah. The problem is you'll never know now because that's everyone's story. If you have a photo with Epstein, your story is, he seemed a little off.
Yeah.
I never pursued it.
Yeah.
You were at that
never
island.
Know.
Shut your mouth.
I don't think that it was pitched them like what was happening on the island. I actually think that he's like, hey, I have this lovely. Let's just say someone goes and says, I have this great private jet. We want to go to this island for a vacation. You should come. I think 9 out of 10 people are saying, hell yeah.
And Bill's going to be out there. Both Bills.
We know this is fact, and I'm not going to say they're underage girls. There's a lot of islands out there in the world that billionaires and rich people are doing the same thing, not accusing them of underage girls. I would hope.
When it comes to girls and hanging out, there's 20 islands in the Hollywood Hills.
Maybe more.
Maybe more. 20 might be low. Okay, let's move on. Let's do a complete topic jump. So we went from 1995. Now we're going to go to 2095. It seems like everything in the world of AI just in the last week, it's already been at light speed, but it seems like in the last week, things have really sped up even more. I know that there was this OpenAI developer conference, and I know that, kind of the running joke on social media right now is that OpenAI or ChatGPT just destroyed thousands of startups by releasing a few features. Everyone's talking about how absolutely insane it is. There's ChatGPT4 Turbo. What's going on?
I thought a few things. One, the number of people that showed up to the developer day. And if you think about big tech days like YC demo days, like a big day where
Apple.
the Salesforce conference, and it felt that big that many people were there. Emily Chang, the former Bloomberg reporter, was doing a ton of videos showing how much energy and enthusiasm there was, and she was kind of doing the play-by-play on all the releases. Yeah. I think a few things. One, the pace at which OpenAI is innovating is something that I don't think anyone's seen in tech, because we went from ChatGPT, it's fun to write a cute poem about your kids, to now can be implemented in most businesses. And now it's created an app store. And that was in a span of 10 months? Yep. When was the poem days? Last, in the spring?
Yeah, February, March.
When we were you wrote a poem about Dom?
Yeah.
And now it's okay, it's now fully commercialized into businesses.
Yep.
And I think that is absolutely bonkers that it's happening this quickly. Yeah. Because it used to be just a fun gimmick. And now it's you can transform your business. So to make it kind of simple is GPT you can basically create your own GPT for your own private data set. So, you at Winners or Dee at Ghost can create some sort of application to your own business and use it. And we talked to one of our close friends who has a big venture-backed company. His initial reaction was, "You think I'm giving them my data?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, I didn't even think about that."
I have that feeling too.
And now I think he's like, "We've seen this game over and over again. We don't know what their data walls are. We have no idea." And if you're a company that has a chance to exit for a big number, or you have competitors, I think you're going to be a little wary.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that they'll find a solve for that because it's such an obvious issue. What'd you say, Dee?
I agree. I think the initial reaction to that is fuck no, but I do think they'll figure out a solve for it. And the reason why you basically have no choice, like I sat, today's Wednesday, Monday night, Monday was it? Monday night was when they had released all the features.
Yeah, Monday was the conference.
I went to ChatGPT. I upgraded to ChatGPT Plus. I paid the $19.99, and I just went ham for an hour and a half, just inputting things that I thought would be interesting for my business. It's incredible. It is like I'll give you an example. I wanted to know how many units of a particular SKU of lotion was selling on Amazon.
Is this for your clean and jerk?
Yes.
You should get soap too. You got to clean first.
Yeah.
Then you jerk.
There's your title for the episode, Clean and Jerk. But
wait, so sorry. I once you said lotion, I stopped listening.
Yeah.
That's too good.
Basically, I asked a very specific question. I wanted to know how many units of a particular SKU was sold on Amazon. And it gave me an estimate. It said, look, basically it was like, we can't get you the most accurate information, but here's what we think based on inventory levels and velocity, whatever. You could actually get that information from a lot of different places. Like there are tools for Amazon sellers like Helium 10 that allow you to get that data. Amazon itself will show you on an ASIN or a SKU level how many units were sold in the past month. But like the idea that like, so they have like their default ChatGPT, and then they have the Bing search ChatGPT, which crawls the internet. It's really, really powerful. I don't have an exact use case how I would use it in my business today. But what I did learn from playing around with it is that like, it made me think of what are all my challenges in the business and how can ChatGPT help me is how I thought about it. And I came up with a few ideas that I think could have an impact on the business. Can ChatGPT do it? I don't know, but it's made me think anything is fucking possible now with a platform like this. And so I walked away kind of like optimistic. I still don't know what I'm going to do yet or if I'll actually use it, but I'm more confident now that with the right person, you can utilize that tool. Like you still have to be really fucking smart on actually how to use it for your benefit.
Yeah.
But damn, this thing is powerful.
I think so too. And I think the challenge for companies is going to be, you're still going to need that engineer that has AI capabilities, because otherwise you're just using a commodity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you need an AI engineer to spruce up whatever GPT you're using it for.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the edge for companies. So I think it makes AI engineers more in demand than ever, because you don't want to be just the like non-technical company just using, the commodity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's another level that needs to get unlocked for you to have an edge for your business. Because from what they're saying, everyone's going to have access to everything. And then it's just as if no one had access to it before because everyone's doing it.
Yeah. I mean, even the app store that they're building, it allows anyone to build a GPT, and they're allowing you to share in the revenue of that, which is pretty insane.
Yep.
So I think like I'm very excited about the App Store because I think like the things people will come up with is going to be insane.
For sure.
Like you unleash the creativity of like people today onto a platform like that. you're going to get some mind-blowing shit that's going to change the world. I truly believe that will happen. On the heels of it, Microsoft hit an all-time high.
Yeah.
Because they're just like, these guys are going to have to spend so much money on cloud computing now.
Yeah.
That,
I mean, if you think about it, they invested $10 billion. They made it all back probably already in compute. And now OpenAI is trading at 90 to 100 billion. So they 5x that 10 billion.
it could be the greatest investment ever.
Sorry, 3x'd it. 30. They invested at
That's
30.
in 9 months.
9 months. I think it's hard to argue OpenAI is not going to be $1 trillion company.
I agree.
Remember we thought when Microsoft when Microsoft made that investment, I said the only reason you can make this investment is if you think it's $1 trillion company.
Yep.
And guess what? They're right.
They thought.
And they knew there was no downside because they were just going to make their money right back.
Right. It's a free option.
I think I read something also that 92% of Fortune 500 companies are already using some element of OpenAI.
Well, he said there's 100 million weekly active users at the conference.
Yeah.
It's crazy how Sam Altman, I think, was known obviously in tech circles. Now he's known like a Bill Gates and Elon Musk. Like
instantly.
Yeah, that quick.
If you go to like Thanksgiving dinner, I'd say 9 out of 10 people, I've heard that Sam Altman name.
No. 9 out of 10?
7?
Not at my Thanksgiving.
No. Josh is shaking his head. You do the test. You go home for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, 9 was a little aggressive.
Yeah.
Maybe 6 out of 10.
Well, what do you think? 2 out of 10?
I'd say maybe 5, 6.
That's a lot.
Okay. That's impressive.
Where's your Thanksgiving?
Back in Delaware.
Okay, that's
a good test.
Sleepy Joe?
So
but your point still stands. It's insane how quick the company, the technology, and the person have
how high profile he became.
Look at this.
He's at the big boys table, right? So
he's at the biggest table.
I think he literally walked into the dinner late and just took a shit on the big boy table.
By the way, like, it's him and Elon, as far as I'm concerned, then Zuck.
Oh, for sure. Anand doesn't want to admit it, but I mean, this guy's got a blown ACL. He's a kid.
Yeah, the ACL set him back.
He's toast.
He's toast. His wife's fucking dabbing his head.
Like, Zuck is an incredible founder and will be a trillionaire, all that good stuff. What he's not doing is innovating. He's just not.
Well, he's trying.
Well, he hasn't in a while.
He's lighting money on fire.
Facebook.
But I know, but like, if you look at the speed of just OpenAI from January to now, I would argue everyone in tech is fucking lagging. Do you know how many companies in America have $10 billion in tech? So many. What the fuck are you doing?
I saw some serious people on Twitter. I forget their names, but I clicked on their profiles and they were like legit tech people calling for Sundar to get fired.
Yeah.
Well, I understand.
Because Google's down, stock's down pretty big this year.
Yeah.
They had AI before everyone had AI.
Yeah.
And Microsoft just came and ate their lunch.
And by the way, like as we all learn, like brand matters, and OpenAI is a great brand already.
Okay, next test. How many people at your Thanksgiving table have heard of OpenAI?
Maybe 3 out of 10.
If you say ChatGPT, that's the word.
Yeah.
I think that's 7 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's ChatGPT, OpenAI, Sam Altman are kind of same.
Right. Yeah, I feel like GPT is more like everybody at least has maybe heard. They don't know what it is, but at least they've heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's.
Well, we got 2 more weeks. The pace that this thing's flying,
Wait, but listen
it might
to
be
this.
10 out of 10.
Listen to this stat. In August, 80% of Fortune 500 companies' developers were using OpenAI tools. Today, 92%. From August to today, 92%. So what I'm thinking is if you work at one of the 8% of the companies that isn't using it, you're at 100% by December.
Yeah.
What company in America has 100% penetration in corporate America? I would say the only other company is Microsoft.
Yeah.
And everyone has Word and Excel.
And in terms of awareness, just to kind of make the point. So 2016, was the Trump Thanksgiving. That was dominated the topic in Thanksgiving, politics. Then we had crypto Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And then I think the next big one's this year with AI. That everyone's going to have a question about it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we had COVID Thanksgiving.
COVID, well, you weren't supposed to.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, you super
Newsom's
spreader.
rules.
Yeah.
Don't you listen to Fauci?
I don't think anyone
I'll tell you what, Fauci's real quiet these days.
Where's your Thanksgiving? Drama?
I don't know, either here or Nashville.
If you go to Nashville, just pay attention if people are asking about AI.
Yep.
Don't even take a poll. Just see if it comes up.
Okay.
Hey, Drama, are you using that AI?
Yep. Guaranteed. AI, if you went to the word AI, I think it's 9 out of 10. ChatGPT is 7 out of 10. Sam Altman, OpenAI are 3 out of 10. That would be my guess for how many dinners are saying.
So Obama was on a podcast this week, the Decoder podcast, and the whole thing was about AI regulation. So apparently Obama crafted the legislation of Biden's executive order from last week.
Yep.
There's a funny quip on Twitter from one of the founders funds guy. He goes, I can't believe Obama didn't have to change the Constitution to have a third term.
Yeah.
Because he's like influencing and
that's got to be pretty true, right? Like, I don't want to go conspiracy, but like, you got to believe that Obama's influence in that White House is pretty strong.
I will say, so the podcast is short, it's like 40 minutes. He's very well versed. He's done the research. He knows all the buzzwords. He's talked to all the tech executives. He's talked to researchers. And he actually brought up something that I thought was cool. And I'm curious how you incentivize people to do it. And the government should be doing this. He's lobbying he knows the talent's not there in DC to actually regulate this stuff, figure it out, actually understand it. He's lobbying for, if you work at, one of these companies and you're an AI expert, do a sabbatical in DC for 3 months, 6 months. Like, go serve the government and start instructing people. A, should companies want that? And B, should the government just subsidize the companies for that salary for that person at the same price so that we actually get smart in DC and not fuck this thing up?
But here's the problem. This is just, let me give you my take real quick. Is number one, I think if I'm that person that would maybe be on the list to go do this operation, number one, I look at the government as pretty adversarial to AI and, forward innovation, right? Like, their thing that they came out with, their AI fucking regulation thing was so stupid, in my opinion.
Horrible.
So they're adversarial. They're not my friend. Second, taking 6 months out of being in the battlefield on AI right now is like taking 10 years off.
Yeah, no, that's true. You can't.
You're going to come back.
I'm going to leave OpenAI.
No, but you let them keep vesting.
But you'd have to pay me fucking 10x. Because in my mind,
who's Obama on the take from? Is he what? OpenAI, Microsoft?
No, so he had an interesting
what are you taking
quote.
off, Barack?
Yeah.
I talked to a serious tech executive, so it has to be one of the top 5 or 10. He's like, it's not one of these young kids. So it's definitely one of the top 5, 10.
So probably his first mistake.
And
why didn't you talk to Sam Altman?
Yeah. And he asked him and was like, what is this the equivalent of? And he's like, electricity. And he goes, that's when I realized I need to get smart on this.
Yeah. Electricity, huh?
I agree with you.
Big platform.
I just think they don't, when they come out with that.
I mean, I would argue the internet was that and no one gave a shit about it.
I forget the question to say to who is he on the take from? The host made some sort of comment about money and he just said, me and Michelle have sold a lot of books. I think we're fine.
Yeah, that's your interview answer.
Yeah.
Ask him if he's fine. See what type of deals he's negotiating right now and see if he's just fine with what he has.
I mean, just think about it from this perspective. He's out publicly speaking about AI, building legislation for it. When historically have you not been a lobbyist to some impact?
Yeah, if you're Microsoft, you pay him $100 million a year and have the voice of the Biden administration.
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah, I guess I've just gotten jaded. I feel like they're all, some are worse than others, but the way the system fundamentally works, like that AI, whatever it was called, that rule book was so dumb and like so anti-innovation. Like the only thing that's going to save us from these idiots' insane spending is insane innovation. But they're trying to spend like crazy and kind of get in the way of innovation. And I just, I don't know, man. I think it's so dumb.
Agreed.
But I do wonder, and my friends, you know what's funny is I canceled on my friends. They played golf this weekend in Orange County and I bailed. But they told me that since I bailed, they got paired with like a random 55-year-old Orange County racist dude. And the reason why I say racist is because he was saying racial slurs on the golf course. I'm not accusing him of something.
Which slurs?
The big ones.
Okay.
and this guy was
the other three in the foursome white?
Two. There's two, and they were white. Yeah. Well, no, actually, what's funny is one of them is Arab but looks white, and the guy kept saying this sand really bad word because he thought he was white, and he didn't know that he was in the.
How does this 55-year-old just start slanging slurs?
And he told him that he plays every day at this course, so he must go there solo every day and just fling racial slurs at whoever joins him.
You know what? That is unbelievable. This guy does not give two fucks.
He doesn't give two fucks. And his main point the whole golf day, they told me, was that it's not Joe Biden in the White House, it's Barack Obama. And that was his whole
maybe he's right.
So, hey, he got one thing right.
So we know his views on Obama, given the slurs.
Yeah.
I'm sure he referenced one of them.
I'm sure he did. That might be how it came up. But it was a wild story. But it's funny that this story just came up. Because I just got done hearing about this guy who that was his whole thing.
That's great.
All right. It is time for winners, losers, and content. Dee, what do you got? Who's your biggest winner of the last week?
Yeah, I'm actually going with Skims and Kim Kardashian.
They just do so good.
So I saw Skims launched. I'm sure everyone saw. They launched a men's collection. And we don't know the numbers, but apparently did extremely well. Then they announced an NBA sponsorship, and during the play-in tournament or whatever the hell that thing is called, or whatever tournament it's called. In-season tournament.
They should get a better name.
Yeah, it's not a good name. But the court said Skims. And if you had asked me 2 years ago, Skims and men's, I would have laughed. I was like, what? It's not going to fucking work. And when I heard it this time around, I was like, honestly, it's probably going to work.
It's definitely going to work. And every athlete's going to wear it. Subsequently, every AAU kid will wear it. Then similar to Lululemon, the fat slobs are going to be wearing it.
That's we know where that. You're going to be wearing your Skims and your Hoka and just walk around yelling racial slurs.
Yeah, that's welcome to America.
Welcome to America, kid.
Yeah. Yeah, I they just do such a good job, man. I don't that's if you really look at like a company that hits all the marks in like the digital age, when it's like, you know, we've seen like great design, great. They have great design. We've seen like innovation on kind of outdated product, great. But like celebrity ambassador, great, nailed that. But then also like influencer and the way they partner with other celebrities and other things. And then this to do men's and to go straight to the NBA.
Yeah. How about the ball drop on Nike?
Yeah.
They didn't have underwear covered in the NBA.
Yeah, they've been
because Nike's the sponsor for everything else.
Wow.
I mean, they dropped the ball on Kanye, which now in hindsight is fine. But like, I feel like they've dropped the ball on some big Steph. Yeah. Is that what you were going to say?
Yeah.
No, I was going to say someone at Nike should get fired. What lawyer didn't put underwear? It's the last piece of garment.
Yeah.
You wear when you play basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's a winner. Big winner. Anand?
My winner is a good old American football. So in the era of everyone's cord cutting, streaming, no one's watching regular television.
Mm-hmm.
College football is up 15% over last year across all networks.
It's so big.
God.
And it will be the most watched college football season ever.
There's nothing bigger.
That's
American
so
football.
Crazy.
What's the narrative? Oh, no one watches CBS. No one watches Fox or ABC.
Oh, no one cares about college. You love college, America. You love college.
They should just dissolve everything else and just be football teams. Stop creating all these
given
activists.
What's being taught on college campuses, I think most alumnus who donate would be like, I'd rather Penn just be a good football team.
All they're doing is making activists and incredible athletes. So just, get rid of the activists.
Oh my God.
I can't believe it. American football is just
15% for a sport that's been around 100 years is asinine.
And that already has tens of millions of viewers on those games.
Yeah. Does that mean just just sports in America? Because people are betting MLS will be big, right?
Yeah.
People are betting women's basketball will be big. People are betting someone's going to watch pickleball on TV. Is it just sports? All of these sports that there's nothing else to watch?
Do you know what's funny?
And we're fatter than ever. I'm just watching sports.
So only 37% of Americans have gone to college, but they all watch college football.
It's so good. I mean, my dream would my whole life to be around college football.
College football is amazing.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
The pregame shows are so fun.
Yeah. I'm watching Big Noon Kickoff at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
I always why am I watching this show at 7 a.m.? It's called the Big Noon Kickoff.
Because the game's at noon.
I know, but the name of the show should not be called Big Noon Kickoff.
But it's the kickoff for Big Noon. It's not Big Noon. Okay. Well, yep. I didn't go to college. It's just, the craziest thing to me is that it's so big in the US and it's so not anywhere else.
Yep.
Does
that mean there's opportunity? Or does that mean that it's
NFL
just...
has made inroads in Europe. So they've had a game in Germany this weekend and last weekend selling out massive stadiums. Their London games get sold out. And I've been in London during first week of NFL football. You see jerseys. People just walking around the streets with jerseys.
So it's starting.
I don't think in Asia anyone watches, but Europe it's definitely.
Yeah, you definitely. I think the hope for football is to get the rest of the world gambling on it.
Yeah,
because objectively speaking, gambling on football is way more fun than gambling on soccer.
I mean, soccer sucks.
There's so many things to bet on in football.
Yeah, you could bet on how many yards a player has, first fumble.
I was before the Sunday night football game. They're like, all right, we're going to do Dalton Kincaid, 3 catches, 56 yards, whatever.
Yeah.
Just the
networks have to embrace it because that's the only reason there's this many people watching.
Yeah.
So every pregame show has a betting segment.
Why doesn't Robinhood just add gambling? If you could parlay Tesla call option to Colorado football, do you know what people go nuts?
Yeah.
I would definitely do Tesla earnings to USC money line.
Yeah, you should.
Those hit, you make $1,000.
USC money line's not hitting.
No, but I'm just saying it's obviously a Hail Mary.
I have another winner quickly. Antonio Pierce.
Yes.
Head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. He just got he's the interim head coach since they fired their old head coach. And he is one of our first kind of professional athlete relationships when we started clothing.
Yeah.
And
used to come in the office all the time.
Nicest guy.
Hung out, party with him. Great, good.
Won Super Bowls. And he, this week, is the new Dion.
Yeah.
All his speeches are going viral.
Yeah. Well, he's also he's more a Raider coach than anyone else they had. Yeah. Congratulations, Antonio.
Love it. Okay. Football. Mine is the United States of America.
Oh.
And I will tell you why, because China is ready to sit down and chat. Here's a quote. We're ready to strengthen communication and dialogue with the United States at all levels, advance mutually beneficial cooperation, properly manage differences, and jointly address global challenges. Let's go.
Wow. Okay. I love it.
Bring it together.
I like it.
Okay.
We win.
Nice. I like it. That's big. It is big. That's a great winner.
Things are looking
glad
up.
They're coming to the table.
Yeah, come to our table. Dee, who's your loser?
So there was an article in Axios of the 3 cities that lead the post-pandemic downtown recovery race. So this is foot traffic in your downtown. So The winners in this kind of stat are, number one is Las Vegas. Las Vegas is 102% from pre-pandemic, from 2019, which is unbelievable. El Paso, San Jose is at 96.5%. Miami's at 92%. Least recovered. St. Louis is at 53%. Louisville, Kentucky, 54%. Twin Cities, 55%. I think the two startling ones for me are Twin Cities, considering how big important downtown is in those communities. And Seattle is 56%. That's devastating for a Seattle.
I wonder what's going on in St. Louis. I had a friend go to St. Louis for a real estate, like looking at buying like multifamily, investments in St. Louis. And one of the stats that they said was like, it's the only city, I'm going to butcher it, but like, it's the only city that like, in the last X amount of, couple decades has declined every year. Like something about St. Louis.
Is he buying real estate there?
Well, no, that was his reason for not doing it. He's like, I went and looked and, it doesn't look like good opportunity.
He's doubling down on.
No, he's like, I'll turn it around.
It's probably like one of those cities like Cleveland that just lost industry and like has not been able to get people to come back. You need like progressive leadership to recruit people to come to your city.
Yeah.
Like you need really smart people.
You need a new Nelly.
Yeah.
Nelly really had St. Louis. When I was in high school, it seemed like the place to be. You can find me in St. Louis.
All right, moving on.
Love it. Anand, losers.
Loser. This is objective. Even you guys want to call me wokey woke. Republicans got their ass handed to them yesterday.
Yeah, I did see that.
In Ohio, Kentucky.
Polls?
There was
Virginia.
elections.
The election, yeah.
So in Ohio, abortion basically got, like, you're allowed to have abortions. In Kentucky, Democratic governor won in one of the reddest states in America.
Yeah.
And in Virginia, the state legislator, which is also a red state, turned Democratic. And when you look at social media, you think Republicans the only way to go. But when people actually go to the voting booth, it's a different story.
I think on this, and all the Republican pundits, they all said it. It's the one thing they got to just give up is abortion. Like they just have to give that topic up.
Their message is also too bullying. Like if you look at the way like a Clay Travis tweets, he's a bully.
Yeah.
He didn't talk about politics once yesterday because Republicans got their ass kicked.
Yeah. But I think all the Republican talking heads who are true influential in the Republican Party all came out and said this morning, like, we got to hang up on this abortion thing. We're going to keep losing if we're going to keep fighting this battle. So they basically have 1 year. Donald Trump is the leading candidate. It's his choice, basically. He has to be the person that says, I'm backing off on this topic. Otherwise, the party won't. If he says, I'm done fighting this, then the party will change.
Yeah.
But it's up to him. It's literally, it's his party. It's his machine. He has to decide.
Didn't we already learn this? Like, not that I don't, not that I'm rooting for Team Republican, but like what a terrible strategy move. And I feel like we've already seen this at the polls at the midterms.
They can't help themselves. It's similar to like the super left Democrats. They can't help themselves on some of these topics. If you think about
what the majority opinion is there's too much crime. Immigration needs to be fixed.
And bloated budget.
Bloated budget. All Republican kind of talking points.
Yeah.
And you can't win.
Yeah.
They're so dumb. Abortion. Okay. That's a good one. What are we on? I'm lost. Loser. My loser?
Yeah.
Oh, my loser is these, Mr. Beast, formerly cured blindness for a YouTube video. Now he's built 100 wells in Africa for YouTube videos. Great stuff. I mean, just not only is he the biggest YouTuber, but like doing great things. People are mad.
Yeah.
People were mad
ridiculous.
At him for, healing people's blindness. They're mad at him for building wells. I didn't even read into it too much. It's just crazy town. So my loser is
what's the beef? I was trying to figure out the beef that I saw a few.
He's exploiting thirsty Africans
to get billions of views. But he's doing good.
Yeah. No one gets mad at the Met Gala.
Yeah, he highlighted the failures of the Kenyan government and maintained the stereotype that Africa is dependent on handouts. Shut up.
God.
So anyway, that's my loser. Easy loser. Content. Do you got any content recommendations?
I haven't listened to anything. I haven't watched anything. I'm going to go with college football.
Yeah. It doesn't need
Okay, so USC is playing Oregon this weekend. We should get absolutely destroyed to the ground. It'll be embarrassing. My family's disgusted with USC football. I hate them.
Okay.
All right. That's good. Anand?
I'll stay on sports. I've replaced First Take.
Huh?
The Pat McAfee show.
It's good.
It's really good.
I watched it the other day. I woke up way too early and it was on and I was like,
I don't even think you need to be a sports fan to enjoy it.
It's just fun.
It's fun.
Yeah. It's like a podcast.
Yeah.
That's why. It's not so formal.
He's talented. Like I thought he was a gimmick, but then when I finally paid attention, I was like, he's really good.
Yeah.
You really can't deny Dave Portnoy's eye for talent.
Yeah. He's nailed everybody.
I'll go sports too, just to wrap it up. UFC 295. The fights don't stop. There's a new fight every weekend. It's going to be good. It's not that great. It's not like one of the biggest, but should be good.
Who are the names?
Jan Blachowicz and Alex Pereira are the headliners. And I kind of forget the undercards because it's not that awesome. But hey, if you're not watching football, watch some people beat each other's faces in.
Is it in Vegas?
New York.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah, I believe. Okay, that's all we got. Oh, we have a shout out.
One shout out.
Yep.
To Kevin Weatherman, who's our friend and an investor in Ghost, and one of the leaders of the pitch and run with Nahal, who motivated our friend Vinay, who we shouted out last pod that finished the New York Marathon, and helped him craft a strategy. And apparently at mile 23, we motivated Vinay from our shout out last podcast. Yeah. And he said the last 3 miles were his fastest.
Wow. Shout out to them. I am very, have you ever done a marathon on it?
No, I can't.
Half?
My body can't handle that. The longest I've run is probably 13, but not in a proper competition.
Yeah. I admire it, but seems very difficult. So shout out to you guys.
Yep.
All right. Everyone have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend. We will see you Sunday. Enjoy the football and take care.
Peace.
Bye-bye.